Hello Mallards, it is Saturday, and yes, I'm back at home doing this video because the thing about Winter Mini Fest is that the way shows are lined up, there's not really space in between them. Like you have maybe 10 minutes and I have less than that because I'm announcing shows when they happen. But today was a very long but very fun day. It started off with Kids Fringe, which went very, very well. We had actually very good attendance. I think the right amount of people for the space that we had at Art Space. And the kids had a great time. The shows went well. And I think it was really, really, really successful, which I had a feeling it would be, even though things weren't really like purchased ahead of time because parents just roll in. That's just how it goes. And so that was really fun. And then G and I went back to her place and took naps, which was also very needed and very nice. And then came back for an evening of shows where I saw The Sack, which I had already seen at May Fringe and thought was hilarious, but went with a few people who hadn't seen it. And so that was enjoyable to like watch them watch that show. And I liked it just as much the second time around. He also announced that he's doing a Sackwool at Tampa Fringe. So if I end up at Tampa Fringe, maybe I'll check that out. And that would be really cool. Then the next show that I went to see was Vulva Va-Voom, the Hollywood psychic. And that show was really fun. The performer, they're super talented. I met them earlier. They are also from Tampa. And I think maybe performing in that Fringe as well. But the plot of the show is that they're a psychic, like a burlesque performer who is also a psychic who channels stars from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And that show did have a hiccup when I watched it, which is that the projector wasn't working, which we all thought was a bit at the beginning, but it became clear that it wasn't a bit. And I feel bad for them because that's always tough. But they were doing so well, like covering for that and moving along. And it's what made me realize as I watched that show that I really like them as a performer, because I can always tell that by how much I enjoy the moments that are not going to plan. Like the little asides, the little bits that let you peek behind the curtain of what's happening. Let me know whether or not I enjoy a performer, and I like them a lot. I don't think I'll get a chance to see the show because I'm not sure there is another performance of it. So it's kind of a bummer that the projections didn't work, but it was funny. And there were some like minutia lawyering bits that I really enjoyed because I like wordplay and sort of puzzle solving things. So that was fun for me. And then the third show I saw this evening was VarieTEASE On The Move, which was a show that was at Orlando Fringe, but I wasn't able to see when I was there because I wasn't able to make it out to the Abbey. And so I saw it tonight and it was magical. From start to finish, it is a beautiful show. It's sort of an homage to losing the venue. And then a little bit, I think, about starting over in a new place and artistic creation and that sort of thing. And dance shows are always kind of a murky place for me because I don't always understand what's happening. But the one thing that I've always loved about VarieTEASE is that I find that a lot of their storytelling is a lot more direct. And so I usually have a grasp of what they're trying to tell me. And I felt the same about this. Also, there was this sparkly skirt worn by one of the dancers for a piece. Could I tell you what was happening in that piece? No, I have no idea. In fact, at some point, the dancer took this, they were wearing like an astronaut helmet, and at some point they took the helmet off their head. Do I know when that happened? No, because I was distracted by this skirt. It was so sparkly and so flowy, and I have never wanted a singular piece of clothing so much in my entire life. Like, I was absolutely I could have just watched nothing but people swishing that skirt forever. The whole hour would have made me happy. It was so beautiful. And the piece sort of ended with a dance party and a lot of love for Fringe artists, and that's nice. It's nice to see somebody like Blue, who's been a part of Fringe for so long, just embracing and giving back, and everybody else celebrating Blue and everything she's done, and celebrating VarieTEASE and everything that's happened. And it was a great way to open and christen the art space, new space. And it's very, very fitting that the first show officially on the art space calendar is Blue's VarieTEASE doing a show called Genesis, because I don't think there's actually a better or more fitting choice to open the venue and to bring people in, to bring people together, and to embrace what art space means. Sadly, On the Move was a one-night thing only, so you can't attend that either. But tomorrow, I'm going to go see more exciting shows. Maybe I'll actually talk about them on the day that they're happening in art space. Can't promise that, but you never know. Wilder things have happened. And right now, I'm going to go to bed so that I can get up and do those things tomorrow. I'll see you then.